You've got your phone, go to the Planet Country Facebook page, and so Planet Country Radio is what you need to search for on Facebook. He's now adjusting the tripod. I think my massive head wasn't in shot, so he's had to go back further. You know when you get that family portrait and you say to the person holding the camera, go back further, or they're saying to you, go back further, and someone always falls into the fountain. Or is that just me? I don't know. MJ's got all sorts of problems. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the next segment. We recently spoke with Canadian legend, in fact, Gord Bamford, who's about to tour Australia again. And we spoke to him during the week, and we started out by asking him about how Australia is, well, effectively a second home for him. Here's how it all went down. Joining us on the line is our favourite Australian Canadian, Gord Bamford. Welcome back to Planet Country.
Yeah, thanks for having me back.
Now, last time we spoke with you was on the CMC Awards red carpet on the Gold Coast in March, and your album Neon Smoke had just been released. Congratulations on the album. You must be pleased with the response from your fans all over the world, in fact.
Yeah, I sure am. You know, it's been really great. Obviously, here in Canada, it's done great things, but I'm really excited about, the Australian market and the Aussies that are, really, diving into my stuff and enjoying it, and very pleased with it, and extremely excited to come back here right away.
It must have been great news to hear that the music video for the title track has gone #1 on CMC down here.
Yeah, it sure was. It had a #1 here as well. It was in the same week, so it was pretty neat to see that happen. And the support CMC's given me has been amazing, and it was really awesome to see that happen.
I remember back at the CMC Awards, you were so relaxed on the red carpet because you're used to the whole awards show thing, having won multiple Canadian Country Music Association awards. Do you enjoy that side of the industry?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's a great thing for the fans and media, and it's always nice, to get to see, even though I'm just getting to know everybody in Australia, but getting to see all the artists and the peers and stuff is always fun, and it's an event that I look forward to every year.
Well, that's the interesting thing for you, because you get to attend an Australian awards ceremony, not just as an international artist guest, but as an Australian-born artist. Now, you've been back to Australia several times since reconnecting with your roots here. Does it feel like another home for you these days?
Well, thanks to everybody in Australia and the country music fans there, they've really welcomed me with open arms and my music. They're making me feel like,
Hello, Facebook Live. We are live on Facebook as Planet Country Radio Show, and we've actually got the Gord Bamford interview going to air at the moment, and you're going to hear a bit more of that, and there's some songs where we'll come and talk over those songs, and then we'll go back to the audio of the Gord Bamford interview, and a little later, Brodie Rainbird from the Wolfe Brothers interview as well.
They're going to like the music. It's kind of a thing that you got to test out, and I've been lucky to, kind of ride the coattails of the Wolfe Brothers, and Lee Cardigan's really good to me, and, it's been an opportunity to come in there and play my music and get to know the people, and them get to know me, so it's been really good.
When we last spoke, you've been spending a lot of time in Nashville, and you're still based there, or are you back in Canada permanently?
Yeah, my wife and kids and I lived in Nashville for a couple of years, and it was just good. We enjoyed it, loved the city, but our roots are back here in Alberta, Canada, and we're happy to be back and out of the hustle and bustle of everyday music, and just living our lives outside of what I do. So we enjoyed it. I spent lots of time in Nashville. I thought, moving down there, I thought I'd see my kids and my wife a lot more, but it didn't really turn out that way. So we're happy for the experience that the kids got to have at that time, but we're happy to be back here, and we're actually going to be coming to Australia, for Tamworth, and then back again in May and June. I think my family's going to be joining me there, so they're excited for that.
Well, that is fantastic.
I know Keith Urban, when he talks about family, with Nicole obviously out doing acting, him touring, he always says that home is wherever Nick and the kids are. Do you find that's the case? It's just home is where your family is?
Well, I think that's very true, and it's obviously, I think everybody aspires to hopefully come back to their families, and but I think it's also important to take time with them when you're home and try to turn off the work mode, which for me it's tough at times, and it's something that you got to try and do. But it's a long trip for everybody to come down under, but everybody's looking forward to it, and it'll feel like that you're right at home when they're all there. So it's true.
There you go, Gord Bamford, alive on Planet Country, or at least we're live on the Facebook page, MJ. We're up and running. Some people are already watching us. So how do people get hold of this live feed?
Just search for Planet Country Radio Show on the Facebook page, and the live video will be up there. Joining the conversation, we have two lots of Jameses. James Daring and James Baker already joined in. And those who joined us last week may remember we talked about what you had for dinner.
That's right.
Now, we're planning to have steak tonight.
The steak is happening. You know what happened last week?
What?
We left and we were like, we're going to have steak. We got to this place and
they were closed.
They'd stopped taking orders by the time we got there, because you've got to pack up all the gear and that and get on the road. And people were eating the steaks, but we couldn't order and eat the steaks. It was killing me. So
it definitely was. So if you are having a good dinner tonight, let us know. But we obviously need to change the conversation at some point. So if you have anything you want to talk about, anything you want Big Stu and MJ to discuss on radio or just on the Facebook Live, drop us a line in the comments on our live video. The Facebook page is Planet Country Radio.
Can I just say,
radio show.
This is weird for me, because normally the camera's up here, pointing down towards an artist.
You're not on camera normally,
and you're normally just in shot. You can sort of lean in and be in the shot.
It's my good side.
And the artists are there, and I'm never in shot. And we had some people say, "Where's Big Stu? You can't see him," and that suits me fine.
Guess who just joined?
Now I'm looking who?
Jace Lansky.
Jace,
you had one of the best dinners last week. So Jace, what'd you have for dinner tonight, mate? Yeah. We're having steak, and we're making sure it's happening.
We're going to get there in time.
We've pre-ordered the steak.
We've pre-ordered. It'll be cold.
We'll get there when they've closed, but we'll still eat the steak.
Yeah, they might just leave it out on there.
He said, "Evening, guys."
Evening.
That's like the start of something. It's like, "Evening, guys. Tonight for dinner, I've had 24-carat gold carrots." I don't know. I didn't know how to finish that.
24-carat gold carrot. I like that. We should get on with the show. So we're talking with Gord Bamford and Brodie Rainbird tonight. We've had the first segment from Gord. We're going to hear some of Gord's music and go back into that audio of the interview. And, of course, we can play that audio of the interview on Facebook Live. So we'll keep an ear out for that. But right now, those on radio can enjoy Gord Bamford right now on Planet Country.
You forgot the song name?
Yeah. I couldn't find it on the paperwork. So we are now talking.
Neon Smoke, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Neon Smoke.
Neon Smoke, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Coming up later, Dive Bar Plus. Another song, I wonder what we're playing. Got brand new music from Missy Lancaster. Got Kaylee Shaw talking. Not to us, but to someone.
That's right. See, this is the run sheet. So, just so people at home can see, the Planet Country run sheet. These are the segments. Everything is... turn that back. Everything is divided up into segments, and it even says, back and forward announce, no announcement, all these things that we need to follow. And I tick them off with a pen. And so you can see we're now... Oh, I can tick this one off, actually.
You know what I don't understand, Big Stu? You haven't, put a box on your notes to actually tick, a box you tick.
I just like putting a big slash through it.
So
it's done.
Not a tick, it's a slash.
A slash, that's right. I don't
tick
it off.
My last boss... His idea of telling me my shift was cancelled was circling it, but him telling me he changed the time was putting an X in it. It didn't make any sense.
Well, you know the difference between a slash and a tick? There's the slash. All I got to do is make that little line on there, and now it's a tick. So it's gone from slash to tick. There you go.
Yeah.
And we do have something funny coming up that people are going to want to hear. And we'll explain it on air, on radio, but when we had to call Gord Bamford for the interview, he's in Canada, we had to phone him, and it's all done through the PR agency. They organise everything, and he didn't answer, and it went to his voicemail. So I just hung up, and then the second time I'm like, "Oh, Gord, it's Big Stu, Planet Country, we're doing our interview scheduled," and he didn't answer.
Yeah. We got some funny stuff to play for you, but on the discussion of dinner, James Baker has said, "Ribs and burgers, boys can't go wrong." Now,
James Baker is someone that, as far as I know, he only eats fried chicken and red meat, like steak.
Well, he told me that his doctor told him he needs to eat more meat. And I looked at him and went, no. No way.
He's known for going to a restaurant and, you'll order a steak and it'll come with steak and chips and salad. And he's like, I don't want the
Lansky,
salad.
I hate you right now. Sorry, go on.
Why?
I'll tell you in a second. Keep telling your story.
I finished.
Okay. So hang on, we'll get to Jason in a minute. We've got to build suspense here. James Daring doesn't know what he's having for dinner. He is working back late. Now,
James D last week had, I think he had the typical roast, the roast dinner.
Something like that, yeah.
Sounds nice.
Now here's the thing, when you're at work, I used to work still work in a Woolworths, and the great thing about working in a supermarket is you have your dinner sorted. Just go to one of the aisles. I know exactly what aisles for what meal, I had a colleague come to me, he's like, MJ, what am I having for dinner tonight? Like, what do you feel like? Some butter chicken. Okay, you got 2 options of butter chicken. You got the frozen variety, which doesn't really taste that good because it's frozen. You know, the Weight Watchers one. But then there's one that actually comes in like a astronaut sort of prepared meal. It's like a little sachet. You pull it open, you put it into a bowl. The rice is like freeze dried in there. You put it in the microwave, and it tastes like fresh butter chicken.
Perfect. We need to go back to the interview. I love your music because it seems to me you really straddle the traditional or contemporary country sound and the modern kind of country pop rock sound in some way, which means I guess you have a wide range of fans. How do you personally describe your sound of country music?
Yeah, good question. I always describe it as a country singer with what works in today's country music, radio-friendly production, and my stuff's really blue collar. It's about life, and you're not going to take the country sound out of me. That's just the way I am, and it's the way I grew up. I grew up on traditional country music, and it's changed so much over the time, and I enjoy the other stuff. But you got to keep up with the sounds of sonically what's going on in today's world, and that's what I've done. But I've also tried to stay true to what I'm good at and what I believe in, and that's kind of how it's kind of been a mashup of traditional country music with the modern edge to it, really.
The single, speaking of blue collar, the single Dive Bar is out now, and it's a song that has wide appeal. Is there an autobiographical element there as well? Are you a dive bar kind of guy?
Definitely. That's the Aussie in me, I think. It's I'm very blue collar and dive bar, and exciting news here yesterday in Canada. That went #1 Billboard here, so it was just ahead of beat out the Florida Georgia Line song, and it's been that's a pretty big feat here to do that. So it was huge here, and hopefully it does great things in Australia too.
All right, so Gord Bamford, Dive Bar. The song is going to air on radio now. And as we mentioned earlier, we're going to cut between the interviews that are going to air, which we can play on Facebook Live, and, of course, the music, which we can't. But, MJ, just before we heard from Gord, you were teasing us about dinner. Now, we've had some people reply with what they're eating.
Yes, we had James Baker suggest ribs and burgers, and I went there the other day. You can see it on our Facebook page and Instagram page. They had a southern chicken burger.
You can't beat a southern chicken burger.
You put southern in a name, I will buy it, I will eat it, I will critique it. It was pretty good. Pretty good.
It's good.
Pretty good. It was
pretty good.
It's expensive, but pretty good. We had James Doring say he's at work, he doesn't know what he's having for dinner tonight. Hopefully there's a frozen food aisle near you, or something open late on a Monday night.
Yes.
Colin. We're building the Jace Lansky. Jace, we're coming back to you, but Colin, he doesn't know what he's having for dinner tonight, but
he doesn't know.
Yeah, I smashed 2 meat trays over the weekend that I won. Great meaty weekend, mate. You need to spread the love. Where's the Big Stu MJ tax? You put some aside, we take it, we eat it.
If you won a meat tray at the pub or something, I want to know how you're cooking it. Is that all barbecued, the whole meat tray, or is is he having barbecued sausages and something else with the other meat, sautéed in some sort of sauce?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Alright, now Jace Lansky. We put this off for too long. Jace Lansky, my friend. Alright, let's go back. Dinner tonight, we're having a creamy leeked chicken.
What? Okay.
Leek and feta chicken breast. Sorry, guys, with roasted sweet potato.
Hang on. Is his wife cooking this, or are they at a restaurant? Because that is some fine fare right there.
I don't know what to do, but my dinners are not up to the Jace Lansky standard, mate.
Our $10 steaks, if we can get there in time, and not sounding that flash all of a sudden.
Dan Harewood can't wait to catch up. I believe he's got some new pedals or something. He was asking around about some gear, and I said, well, I'll show Dan my box.
Dan actually recently played on stage again with the Wolfe Brothers. He's making a habit of this, and of course we've got Brodie from the Wolfe Brothers interview tonight. Look at this. So this is your suggestion.
I recommended this to Dan. He needed a box. Liam Kennedy Clark actually said, hey mate, get a piece of IKEA shelf and build yourself a pedal board.
Yeah.
But then you needed something to put it in.
Yeah,
now Liam Kennedy Clark had a padded laptop bag, and I'm like, a laptop bag's a bit flexible. You need
the hard case.
Hard case. And then you get to decorate it like a guitar case.
I love radio.
I got an I Love Radio from the Australian Film, Television and Radio School where I studied. Is that even on camera? I don't know. Hang on.
Now it is.
I've got a Behringer, which is the interface we use. It's cheap, it's great. It's the Hyundai of audio interfaces.
Yeah.
I've got a CMC Rocks 2017 sticker. I need to put my 2016 on. Somewhere I've got that. I've got an old Planet Country sticker that's kind of faded and needs to be remade.
We need to go back to the interview.
But you're also coming to do some shows for us, which we can't wait for. Initially, the Denny Ute Muster is first up on the 28th of September, alongside Carrie Underwood. Are you familiar with the Denny Ute Muster? Are you prepared for the ute driving country fans that spend the weekend going absolutely crazy in the dust or mud, depending on the Victorian weather?
That's right.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I actually know what a ute. I've driven a ute, so I actually know what that is. But, and Carrie's a friend, and Mike, I know her husband well, so I'm looking forward to being a part of that. I've heard a lot about the Denny Ute Muster, and it's kind of right up my alley, so I'm looking, we're going to have a great time.
Well, I think there'll be a lot of dust this year. The drought is hit hard in rural New South Wales, so I suspect it'll be not much mud, but a heck of a lot of dust kicking up at the Denny Ute Muster. It'll be a lot of fun. You're playing a string of shows with the Wolfe Brothers and Jody Doreen in the Country Heart Tour. Now, you've developed a strong relationship with the Wolfe Brothers. Tell us about those guys and the fun you have touring with them in Australia.
Yeah, I met them actually in Nashville. I did some writing with Nick, and then met Tom, and when their manager was over there at the time, Steve White, who I'd had some connection with, a couple years before that, and you just kind of hit it off, and reunited with Steve, and talked about opportunities in Australia, obviously with my roots there, being born there, and the Wolfe Brothers have been amazing. They've kind of literally put me on their back and put me in front of their, some of their fans, and introduced me to Lee, and Lee's been great as well, and I think, we talk about opportunities, and they just put me in a situation where I got an opportunity and try to capitalize on it. And I'm going to return the favor and have those guys over to Canada as well. And, no one's a genie in a bottle, but if you get opportunities in life and you get out there and get in front of people and, play your music, you just hope that they gravitate towards it and that you get, you can build a fan base. And that's what I've been able to do. It's a huge part of them. The reason I've been able to do it is because of the Wolfe Brothers and how kind they've been and how welcoming they've been to put me in front of their fan base, really.
And you mentioned, of course, just now, and Brodie told us a little while ago as well, that you're actually giving them the same opportunity over in Canada with the guys going over there to play as well, kind of reversing the roles. They're your support act rather than you being a support act down here. There are 9 Australian shows, including a big one at Rudy Hill RSL on October 13. All the details are on the tour page at gordbamford.com. We can't wait for that. We'll probably see you there. And maybe we'll jump on a flight to Canada and see the Wolfe Brothers supporting Gord Bamford.
We should stow away with the Wolfe Brothers. That'd be great. You'll be back in January for the Tamworth Country Music Festival, including a show with Lee Kernaghan at the Trek Centre. That is going to be amazing. You can't miss that show in Tamworth. That'll bring the whole place to a halt.
Yeah, I mean, what a great opportunity for me, and Lee's, like I say, he's been great to me, and you always are hoping that there'd be an opportunity to be involved with what he does, but at the same time, he's you got to respect that you need to earn that, and I'm just very pleased that he's asked me to be a part of it, and the opportunity is great for me, and I'm just very thankful for it. So.
Well, we can't wait to see you play live back in Australia. Gord Bamford, thank you so much for spending some time with us on Planet Country.
Thanks a lot. Great chatting with you.
Well, that's Gord Bamford, and it's fitting that he'll be playing a show with Lee Kernaghan because we think the two, in fact, are very similar artists, particularly when you think about how Lee continues to release music that's contemporary, it's not dated. He's up with the sound, Lee.
Yeah, it's the Canadian Lee Kernaghan, and
yes.
If you follow our Instagram stories,
yeah,
you may have pulled a prank on Gord Bamford. We left a prank call on Gord's message bank.
We did. You see, the PR flunkies that give you a very specific time to call, these big overseas artists, and invariably they don't answer. So you phone them and it just rings out. We were
Comes up, what, Planet Country? Who are those dumb?
That's right.
Spam call.
We were told to call Gord at 12 noon on this particular day, so we did, and we got his voicemail, unfortunately.
You know what the funny thing is? We kept trying, and the way it worked is it was through a transfer process.
Yeah, that's right.
Which we got to hear the bank balance of the account for the transfer system.
And every time, the PR company, and every time we rang, we'd used up more, 25 more cents or something to make this call, and we kept getting the voicemail.
I wonder, does Gord have to pay them back for our phone call?
But it also had you have 175 minutes talk time, and then it was you have 174 because we kept getting the voicemail.
So we waited, and we called again in 5 minutes. We waited a little bit, we chilled, we relaxed, we chillaxed.
We kept
then
getting
we called,
the voicemail.
Same thing.
And so we kept hanging up, but invariably, eventually, we're getting frustrated. And we thought, because we had another interview to do at 12:30, and no doubt Gord was supposed to do other media as well. So when I called back, I decided to leave a message on his voicemail. Check it out.
There's Gord, not in right now. Leave a message. I'll get back to you. Have a good day.
After leaving a message, you can hang up.
Hi, Gord. It's Big Stu from Planet Country Radio Down Under. We just wanted to know if you wanted to play the secret sound. I'll give you a hint. It goes like this. When he did eventually answer, he was okay. I don't think he'd heard the message yet, so, we were all right.
Does anyone check their voicemail
Nobody
messages these days?
Voicemail. He's probably still... You have 113 voicemail messages.
He had been in a meeting and was actually driving along the road on the way home.
Yeah, and I'm guessing by the noise that you could hear in the background, it wasn't a Prius.
I'm guessing by the music he plays, it's definitely not a Prius. He didn't say, though, but I'd be disappointed if it wasn't a Ram 3500 heavy-duty Laramie Longhorn edition.
Okay, you need to say that like a Ram 3500 heavy-duty Laramie Longhorn.
3500 heavy-duty Laramie Longhorn, official truck of Canadian country star Gord Bamford.
What if he's actually sponsored by Ford or something? We've got it totally wrong.
Why doesn't either one of them sponsor our show?
That's exactly right. Gord is here this week, but he's also coming back for Tamworth in January, where he'll be living on Summertime. See what I did there?
Hey, this is Gord Bamford, and you're listening to Planet Country with Big Stu and MJ.
Alrighty, we're on the little mic, the mini mic, the Facebook Live.
We are on the mini mic, so I don't know if Gord actually... You know what? We're going to see him. We're going to meet him when he's out here for the tour. Should we kind of pretend it didn't happen, or should we sort of bring it up and say, hey, Gord, did you get our voicemail? It's just a bit of fun, no foul.
I did not receive any voicemail message. I do not believe
so. You know what he'll say? He'll go, voicemail? What's this all about?
We're so glad he's asleep right now in Canada.
That's right.
We need to get Amy Nelson involved to prank call him.
Yes.
And Cody Prevost. We know
some Canadians. Ryan Anderson in Queensland. He's the Canadian.
He's driving down to Sydney. He needs to come on the show.
He knows all the artists.
When we had Amy Nelson on the show, she was like, we did a Canadian special, all Canadians, and she was like, oh my god, I'm going to take a photo and send it to all of them. She knew them all. And we're like, we've been playing them.
We made a Canadian flag for her out of cardboard. Because I thought, how do you make a big flag? So I got like 2 bits of red cardboard and stuck them on the ends of a white bit in the middle. Then I had to cut out the maple leaf. It was kind of like 5th class school assignment, and she was like, "It's so great," and we were like, "It's really tacky," but she liked it.
To finish off our what you had for dinner segment, Colin has said that on the weekend when he had the meat trays, he was batching. Batching for the weekend too.
And he had meat tray.
He had meat and beer on the menu. Sounds like a song. Barbecue in the lot, a magic assortment. Where's Jacini and Katie Jane when you need them to finish a song?
You know how a guy does the meat, because you get the meat tray and it's got chops and rissoles and steak and sausages. I reckon, and it's on a foam board. I reckon he fires up the Barbie and he gets the foam board and goes like that.
You're going to break the box. You probably set everyone down.
Sorry about that. Takes the foam away, and it's just the meat's on the grill, ready to go.
Do you eat it straight off the grill? Don't even...
Oh, yeah. There's no plate required. You just...
Flames are coming up through the grill.
I mean, you wouldn't even need the fork, except it'd be hot.
Yeah.
You get a skewer or something. Just
a real man just... with their hands. Dan Henwood said, it's always a pleasure playing with the Wolfe Brothers. Well, your mate Brodie will be on the air soon with our interview.
Absolutely, yeah.
Adam Staples and Dylan Cable have just joined us viewing. Guys, this is how it works. Once you start watching, you have to start commenting. And how about this? We want to know any stories of pranks you may have done or pranks you may have been on the receiving end of.
Because we pranked Gord Bamford and left a message on his voicemail.
Maybe you've got some strange voicemail message. I got one from a cop once saying, yeah, we found your phone. And I went...
I'm on my phone.
I'm on my phone. It's the only phone I've got. And I went, oh, sorry, no, I meant to say... I called him back, and he said, no, I meant to say this, you were in the context of a phone we found. You're like one of the recent calls, and I went... Sure, it's my number, and he looked back and he went, no, actually,
I gotta go
you're 82, it's 83 with the call.
Gord Bamford on Planet Country. Missy Lancaster has released the next single from her Piece of Me album. The beautiful song Never in Love is a moving ballad that Missy described as the most vulnerable song on the album. She recently said that anyone who has had their heart broken will connect with this on a very deep level. This is a song I have to hold back the tears on, she said. Let's check it out now on Planet Country.
Hi, I'm Missy Lancaster.
Okay, so Colin's got back to us.
Oh, with the meat.
He said, "What's a plate?"
What's a plate?
Colin, you're living one of the greatest
I want to know
food lives in the world right now.
It could only be bettered if there wasn't like a gas barbecue and he just put just got some, cut a tree down,
Cut a tree down,
waited for it
carved
to dry
out
out, and just lit it and just threw the meat on it. That's the way to do it.
throw it
Or
on,
like in New Zealand,
pick it
a
up.
hungy where they cook it all underground. I've had meat from a hungy. Beautiful, amazing.
Highly recommend.
That's barbecue.
That's a big stew recommend.
That's exactly right. Now, we are playing Missy Lancaster at the moment, and we're going to go into social media, MJ. So just so you know,
segment.
just so you know where we're at. It's after segment 8. This is live radio, literally, on our notes. So there's a little bit to get through there, and we'll just follow the order that we've got it in there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, okay, that's cool. We'll just follow that. Anyone else commenting on what they're eating?
No. They're
Okay.
boring.
Nobody's eating anything.
Yeah, bore me.
So James D is working. So he was commenting on his work. So is he working while with a phone in his hand watching Planet Country? That's odd. Don't want to get in trouble.
Maybe that's his job, to watch Planet Country. We better start paying him.
Can you? This is you mentioned
Cody's coming. The Birdman is even having tacos.
tacos.
Beef, fish, or chicken tacos?
Yeah, that's
That's a tough.
important.
This is a judgmental question now.
That's important.
I don't like
you
fish
mentioned
tacos.
you mentioned the supposed cop rang you and said I found your phone. It was the prank call. This is not a prank related, but it's cop related. Can you remember years ago when you had a
Seatbelt?
bedroom?
Yeah.
No, you had a bedroom at the front of the house. I was at the back. You came and knocked on the door. It was like 3 a.m, and you said, "Dad, there's police in the front yard." And I'm like, "What the heck?" So I go out there, and by this stage, I'm walking up the hall. They're knocking on the door. I answer the door, and it's a policeman going, "Sir, would you mind coming outside? We believe something's been stolen from your car." I'm like, "What?" And so you'd been watching this. They had some guy.
My
they had
head was at the front, and I was the guy who opens the little blinds and creeps in. What's going on out there?
And the perp had been caught by the police, and he's like in the back of the wagon, and the guy's like, "He's stolen something from your vehicle." And I'm like, "What?" And he goes, I think he said like a
TV or something.
No, it was like a GPS or something. I'm like, "I don't have one." And so we walk around the car, no windows are broken, he hasn't opened the car at all, and I'm like, he didn't steal anything. So we walk down to the wagon, I'm standing outside, the perp's inside, and the cop's going, "You said you stole something from this vehicle." And he goes, "Oh, I thought it was that vehicle." And I don't know, he's just, trying to make up a story, lead him astray. And it wasn't actually us, so there you go.
I thought about the time when I was a little kid and I was like baby toddler in the capsule thing, and I refused to put my seatbelt on.
Ah,
So
yes.
My mother got over these cops that had just bought McDonald's. Said, "Can you tell my son to put his seatbelt on?" I shat my pants.
You know,
Just quickly, Cody Berman, he's having beef tacos. He wants to know, what would you rather, hard or soft?
Porque no los dos. Do you want to flick it over? Because we're going to go into social media.
Those 4 steps could change their life. Find out more at ruok.org.au.
At Rural Aid, our Buy a Bale program has been helping farmers and their communities with drought relief for over 5 years. Farmers, if you need a hand right now, give us a call. Our team and thousands of volunteers and supporters and counsellors want to help you. We're here for you. Visit www.buyabale.com.au or call 1300 327 624 for help. Or if you'd like to donate to support our farmers.
Number 1 choice for country.
Planet Country.
Big Stu and MJ.
Now on Planet Country, what's trending on social media? Hashtag lame theme.
I'm sitting in the movies and I'm looking at my phone. I need to check my Facebook while the ads are shown. Looking at my phone. looking at my phone.
Now here's the only host on this show with a clue about social media, MJ.
Beef tacos.
What?
Beef tacos.
Oh, that's what
the Birdman's
okay,
eating.
just for people on radio, we've been talking live on Facebook, where we are at the moment, about what people have had for dinner, because we're hungry and we don't get to eat till after the show. And
It's our punishment
Cody
for doing
Birdman said tacos, and you're like, well, what was it? Fish,
Tacos?
beef, tacos, beef,
Tacos.
fish, chicken, whatever. So that's the answer.
Yeah, so he's having beef. And if you want to join in the conversation, you can. We're talking, when the music goes to air on radio, we continue the conversation on Facebook. It becomes a talkback radio show.
It does.
And you can do that by following Planet Country Radio Show on Facebook. The video is live up now, and while you're at it, click like on the page and share the video.
Absolutely. And tell us what you had for dinner.
Yeah, that's what we're asking. We did that last week, and we're still going with it. It's really easy to talk about.
We're running with the same thing.
Yeah, and if you want to follow us on Instagram, it's Planet Country Radio. If you want to follow us on, which one I'm going to do today? Let's do Snapchat, because I did do a snap about getting a haircut, and it's PC Radio Show.
Absolutely. Now, MJ, social media, there's some disappointing news that actually came to air this week on social media.
Yes, so the Kick the Dust Up Festival in Canberra is actually not going ahead. It's just been announced that it's been cancelled. The announcement was made on social media in the last few days. We knew a little bit ahead of time, but waited for the official announcement to be made before we discussed it.
Absolutely. Matty Freeberry is one of the organisers, and we've had him on the show. We've spoken to him before, and he told us, he was absolutely gutted with what's happened. Unfortunately, it just simply wasn't commercially viable to proceed with the event. I'm not sure why it didn't work out. The lineup of artists was great. The location was good. The timing was okay. Maybe it was just too soon for an event of that size in Canberra, perhaps.
And it was very much Matty was doing all the work himself.
Yeah.
He was really kind of putting it up to make it happen. So he just can't proceed, unfortunately. Some of the artists have spoken about it on social media already. I know the Viper Creek made an announcement that they've been able to pick up a different gig as an alternative. And James Dyring, who joined us in the comments on our Facebook Live video, he had tickets and he heard through the Viper Creek band, and he was absolutely gutted because
he was unhappy.
He lives in Goulburn, not too far to go to Canberra. He studied in Canberra at the university down there,
Yeah.
and so he was really excited for it. So we're disappointed just as much as the fans are.
I think it's hard to make festivals work these days. There's a huge cost. There's just the logistics of it, but there's a massive cost in doing it. And we saw that with the Sydney Country Music Festival. It struggled. Others have come and gone. Hopefully an event for Canberra country music fans will happen in the future, maybe a smaller thing, and build up to the festival.
Well, we saw the Country Rocks group pick up Sydney and sort of take over and rebrand it kind of thing as Country Rock Sydney.
But even then, we're not sure if that's going to come back next year.
So, guys, go to social media, tell these festivals, tell these touring companies, tell the artists you want to see a festival in these locations.
And get in early and buy the tickets early, so you
get
can
in, buy the tickets
happens.
early. Don't put it off. Talk with the organisers, saying, "Hey, what can I do?" Or I can't afford a ticket right now, but can I do a pay over time or something like that?
Absolutely.
Get involved, help out. Because that's really how festivals come to grow to what some of the good ones are today.
Absolutely. Now, to a Facebook issue, MJ, tell us about the petition we have running at the moment that you've put up for Planet Country to help out another page.
I'm just going to step away from the mic for a second because I've got a rant here. Mark Zuckerberg, you're on notice.
Listen up.
Okay. Now that my big rant has started.
Was that a professional thing, so you didn't, peak the mic like you...
That's what I was aiming for.
Okay, gotcha.
So there's been some sad news over the last couple of weeks as well to do with fan pages. Now, looks like Facebook has been trying to take down fake pages.
Of course. They had that big thing where they said, fake accounts, we're going to remove them.
But they're not just removing it. Human accounts that are, it's... For example, we've got Cody Birdman here, so it won't be Cody Birdman 1 when his actual account is Cody Birdman Official. Brooke Chevelle recently, it's Brooke Chevelle Official on Instagram, but an account popped up called Official Brooke Chevelle.
Yeah.
And it's carbon copy, they copy all the description, they post one or two photos.
But the problem is that Facebook have gone, okay, so anything that's not the official, they're gonna kill it. So in this case, Luke Bryan, of course, massive superstar, has got his own account, the Luke Bryan official account on Facebook. What happened is a fan page in Australia, Luke Bryan Fans Australia, got cancelled, got taken down, no notice, nothing, because they probably assumed that it was some sort of fake account when it wasn't. It was a genuine fan page.
That's right. Luke Bryan Australia is run by our good dear friend Elisa, a long-time fan of Planet Country, long-time fan of the Wolfpack, the secret Facebook group dedicated to the Wolf and
that
Planet
used to
Country.
be MJ's entourage.
Yeah.
That was the original
Still
name.
is.
Okay.
It's not yours, it's mine.
Fair enough.
Anyway, so the page got taken down. It had, I think it was like 200 followers off of 20,000.
Absolutely.
To put it in perspective, we have 6,151 as of right now. And we're one of the most followed individual shows in country music in Australia.
And Alyssa, the admin that runs the page, she's the sole admin. There's no way she's pretending to be Luke Bryan or even officially
Well, the thing
associated
is,
with
of
Luke
that
Bryan.
20,000, everyone knew Alyssa by her first name. They knew it was Alyssa. They knew it was her page. And they knew that they could go to that page for reliable discussions about Luke Bryan relating to Australia and just
That's
being
right.
a fan in general. It was very much Luke Bryan's fans in Australia.
And Alyssa's, she's not just a fan, she's a super fan. She regularly goes to America to see him play.
Okay.
When he came to Australia, she saw all his shows.
She goes to every show in Australia for a big name artist that she's a fan of.
Yeah.
She goes to every Keith Urban show.
That's right. She
went
runs
to
the
every
Keith
Luke
Urban
Bryan
fan
show.
page.
Exactly. And I can just giving an update now. It's loading. See, change.org does this weird thing where it'll get to a number and then it will slowly count up to what the actual tally was.
To the next one.
But as of earlier today, it was 321 signatures.
That's huge.
And that's
good.
after it being up for about 2 days, I think.
Yeah. So people can see this on our Facebook page. Where can they
That's
get
right.
hold
If
of
you
this?
head to our Facebook page, the link is on there. We've got it on the Wolfe as well. We're sharing it around to all the fan groups because we really want to get this page back. Lisa created a great page that it was representation of what was. It was a standard for what a true fan page should be. It was very much Elisa's following as it was Luke Bryan's. You know, she was the profile of the page.
Yep.
She's got selfies of her with Luke Bryan from the hundreds and hundreds of different concerts she goes
That's
to.
right, exactly.
I believe it's 326 now. So I
Excellent.
checked about a couple of hours ago. In a couple of hours, we picked up a few
We
more.
want Facebook to reinstate this. They won't even talk to her. So
Yep.
they've just got rid of it and there's no correspondence.
Yes, and if you don't have Facebook, jump on change.org and just search for Reinstate the Luke Bryan Australia page. It's been run by Planet Country on behalf of Elisa. Oh, she didn't even know. We surprised her. She went, oh my God, I love you guys.
Absolutely, and she is totally legit. Now, Kaylee Shaw is an artist we're impressed with, and her hit Fight Like a Girl gets plenty of airplay on the Wolf. We've played it multiple times on this show, in fact. Kaylee recently posted about on her social pages about body image. She wrote, a few months ago, I wouldn't have posted this picture. I would have seen the way my pants fit around my waist and cringed. Recently, I've been working on self-love. It's really hard as an artist because you truly are held to the unattainable standard of being skinnier than 75% of the population, which is so weird. Like, I'm just trying to sing songs. Why does it matter if I have abs or I don't? It doesn't make me sing any better, and it doesn't make me a better person. In this picture, I'm having the time of my freaking life. I'm dancing around on stage in my space boots, singing and speaking my truth. And honestly, just in the best state of mind I've ever been in. Who gives a beep? I had to change that to beep, right? About what my stomach looks like. I'm healthy and I'm happy. And if anyone is going to look at this and see anything other than that, well, that's on them. Anyways, I like this picture. Love yourself, rant over. That's what she said. It's a long bit, but I had to actually read that out. It was important.
It's a really good message for girls out there. And Kaylee's such a powerful spokesperson for females.
Absolutely. It got me thinking, though. I remembered seeing an interview Kaylee did with CRS a few months back for radio where she talked about what she knows now at 23 years old and going back to when she was 10 and, you know, what she thought she might be. Check this out.
I remember drawing a picture when I was probably 10 of what I was going to look like at 13, and I had a guitar and a songwriting book and really big boobs. And I was like, once you turn 13, you're going to have it all figured out. But and I'm like, well, you got most of them, you know? So 10-year-old Kaylee would be pumped about the guitar and the songwriting book and the boobs.
There's no delicate way to put this. A guitar, a songwriting book, and boobs. All right? The thing is that Kaylee is so relatable to girls everywhere. You know, remember when T Swift burst onto the scene? Everyone was talking about how Taylor Swift was, you know, how the fans identified with her and how she got them and they got her. It's the same thing with Kaylee Shaw, I think.
Definitely, I think. Absolutely. I really hope she makes it big because her attitude is brilliant. That's it. Her attitude is brilliant. So why don't we just play a song from Kaylee? This is Candy on Planet Country.
Absolutely. Brand new for Kaylee Shaw.
Kaylee Shaw Candy is on the air, and
Absolutely,
we are live exclusively on Facebook. That's right, the radio people. don't get to hear this. If you're listening in on Swar 999 or the Wolf Australia, you're enjoying Candy by Kaylee Shaw. If you're listening in via Facebook, you're watching Two Ugly Radio DJs talk to a small microphone on the desk.
Now, what I do while you're talking, what I do in the second, after we get to the second hour, so it's now 7:08 and a half, is I start ticking off the time, so we make sure we fit what we have to fit in. So, bear with me for a minute.
Headphones take a while to click over sometimes. What can we talk about?
The good news is, I think we'll fit in what we have to fit in.
That's good. You know, should get broken.
Hey, did you hear that? That's the train. I wonder if it came out on the little mic that doesn't have the...
No, I cut the low filter on the little one. But
See,
I think I... No, I don't actually...
For those that are on Facebook, there's the Swar 999 Studios is next to a train line. In fact, it is literally about, 5 or 7 metres maybe, that way. Just past the...
trying to
into
unplug
the
that
wall.
thing. Oh, I have to unplug the microphone.
And,
yeah.
So these mics, the professional, what are these, broadcasters or procasters?
Broadcasters.
Road broadcasters. They have a low filter. Explain how that all works, MJ.
Well, you flick a switch on the back of them. So I'm going to get one in shot. A little switch down here. I don't know if it's coming up. And it basically cuts out all the low frequencies, so the bass sort of tones. The rumble of the train, in other words.
That's right. And so sometimes, less than a minute, sometimes we might come across when we're talking a little tinny, a little too much treble. That's because the low bass has been cut out so you don't hear the rumble of the train, which is very interesting.
There we go. Fix the mic up.
So we are after 10, and in fact, you talk by yourself. You ready for your big break in radio, MJ?
No.
30 seconds until you talk. And in fact, you can keep it going because it's the Brodie interview.
Jace Lancey just come back and said, "Man, it sucks about Keep the Dust Up. I was looking forward to bringing my music down to Canberra."
Absolutely. He was going to come into the studio on the way.
He was bypass Sydney.
10 seconds, MJ. Are you ready?
Hey, Johnny Bones from Swar 999 is in the comments.
Candy, when you kiss my lips, it's like candy. You're no good for me. You're like candy. You're like candy.
Johnny Bones has just joined us on the Facebook Live video, and I have to mention this on air. So Johnny actually presents here on Swar 999 as well, and he came in to do, I think, some training sessions or something on the way out, when we were on the way out. He just said, "Did I hold you up from your steaks last week? Sorry, fellas, I'm tuned in from home, won't be there to interrupt your exit." No, man, it's all good.
Johnny didn't do anything wrong. I packed up stuff. You were tardy in packing stuff up.
Okay, yeah, I was a bit busy. And I do have, a whole thing to switch around here. I've got all the Facebook Live stuff. I've got everything.
Johnny Bones has the best hair in radio. Just
for sure.
Out there. What that means, because it's on radio, I don't know. But anyway.
Best hair by far.
Yeah, check him out on social media.
I don't know if you can even see his headphones when he puts them on.
I don't know how he puts them on.
Does he? Maybe he has earphones.
Special, probably does. Yeah.
Maybe a special, big hair headphones that, go around the hair and then come back in. Or something. I don't know.
MJ, do you remember just as that song was playing, I said to you, it's your big break in radio, MJ. You get to do this segment.
And I nailed it.
You're actually doing the next bit, and I don't have to talk. And then you went ad-lib with something.
See, that's a good radio host. He makes the other person talk. But speaking of hair, someone who has changed their hair recently and looks amazing is Brodie Rainbird from the Wolfe Brothers.
Great segue.
I'm a genius. It's the radio school paying off here. We spoke with Brodie. And there we go. There's my career down the gutter.
Big break. And you nailed it.
We spoke with Brodie Rainbird from the Wolfe Brothers a few days ago, and it was great insight into the band from one of the guys who isn't technically speaking an actual Wolfe brother.
No.
We started by asking whether people assume he is Tom and Nick's other brother.
He's the Wolfe brother from another mother, and he's on the line from Tasmania. Brodie Rainbird, welcome back to Planet Country.
Hey, how are you guys? Thanks for having me on the show.
How many times have you really been mistaken for being an actual brother of Tom and Nick Wolfe? Does that happen a lot?
Yeah, only every gig, pretty much.
Every interview, every gig.
Yeah, it's funny actually. We get a lot of people come up to the signing table and they're like, "So who are the brothers?" Because they can't figure it out. So it's kind of interesting.
Do you ever sometimes just pretend to be one just to fit in?
Yeah, well, sometimes what we used to do is tell them that it was Casey and I were the brothers.
Ah, just to throw everyone off.
Just to be a prick.
So Casey and I wanted to start a band, but we didn't want to be, the main two guys, so we hired two actors, and they've just been filling in ever since.
And and more talented and better songwriters.
Well, I don't know about that, but you did grow up with them, so you're your brother from another mother, essentially. What was that like growing up with Tom and Nick?
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, I've got so many great memories. You know, like the first time I was ever properly drunk was up at Nick and Tom's house. I'm not sure if I should be telling everyone that on radio, but yeah, like we've been through a lot together. We met in grade 7, I think it was, on the school bus, because we all caught the same school bus together.
Wow.
And the rest is history.
Wow.
Can you imagine that? Hi, I'm Brodie. Hi, I'm Nick. This is my brother Tom.
Is that how it went down?
It was more like, isn't Metallica cool? Yeah, it is cool. Let's be friends.
Bonding over Metallica. I love it. I was surprised, I guess, in some ways, to see you interviewed as part of the Landline report on, the Wolfe family Berry Farm. But I guess being so close, you felt what they were going through to keep that farm going as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a pretty intense time, and it still is very busy running the farm for those boys. But just like I said on the show, like if anyone can run a farm and a music career at the same time, they are the boys to do it.
Isn't Metallica cool? Isn't that the best way that most relationships start, most friendships? Isn't
Exactly.
Metallica
We
cool?
just had Tom Wolfe join us on the live video. So, hey Tom, how's it going? We're talking to your brother from another mother,
That's
Brodie.
exactly right. Who said how he met you and Nick was actually on the school bus and you all bonded over Metallica.
Give us a Wolfe Brothers impression of them saying, hey, you like Metallica?
Oh, like you just did.
Tom's watching now. You got to be careful.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, hey guys, it's Brodie. I like Metallica. What's your name?
I'm Nick, and this is Tom.
G'day, folks. It's Tom Wolfe here from the Wolfe Brothers. That's how he does our ID. G'day, folks. Tom Wolfe here from the Wolfe Brothers. I want to give a big shout out to our mates, Big Stu and MJ.
I've got that.
Thank you for all you do for country radio. So Tom, maybe give us some insight onto the Metallica discussion.
Absolutely.
Hey, do you like country music? No, we'll make you into a country music fan. We'll form a band and we'll go on a massive long career. We'll go on Australia's Got Talent, be superstars, and then tour with a Canadian and a New Zealand artist in one tour.
I don't think when they met, the second thing said, after the first thing, isn't Metallica cool? Yeah, I don't think the next thing was, do you like country music?
Okay. I was going to say, did you plan out your career? Is that normal? Because I've done that. I've already picked out my private jet.
I reckon it was, isn't Metallica cool? Yeah. What about Megadeth? Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah. So, yeah, Tom, if you haven't turned off yet, let us know how, from your perspective, how you met Brodie and how the band formed.
And we'll have more from Brodie very shortly. But why don't we check out Ain't Seen It Yet? This is the Wolfe Brothers live on Planet Country. We're live on Facebook, at least. Planet Country on Sward 999.
G'day folks, Tom Wolfe here from the Wolfe Brothers, and we want to do a really big shout out to our friends MJ and Big Stu at Planet Country Radio. Thank you for all you do for Australian country music.
Around here we get high on that Cascade Blue.
And of course, Tom, if you're there,
I think he's long gone.
The seats are here for you guys to come in live in the studio. We're always saying they've got to come into the studio on a Monday night, and it's because they're not in Sydney often.
But seriously, where the camera is, there's heaps of... I just did something. Here, heaps of space.
That's right. And, of course, we're going to catch up with those guys. They're playing Rudy RSL. I think it's October 13, so maybe they can stay till the Monday and come in, or come earlier in the week or something.
There's a kitchen right there, a bathroom right there. They could just stay in the building. Forget accommodation expenses. Sward 999 now does Airbnb.
If they come on the show live in the studio, I want them to play a Metallica song.
Play a Metallica song.
Acoustically.
With a country twist?
Well, I don't care if there's a country twist or not. It's the Wolfe Brothers and do what they want.
It's Sward 999. They play the 70s to now, and I do know they like their 70s, 80s rock, so I reckon that maybe you could just do it as normal. An acoustic
why not?
Metallica cover by the Wolfe Brothers. That's a challenge right there.
Because we challenge artists to come in and write a song live on the air. I'm going to challenge them to come in and play a Metallica song. That would be cool.
That would be cool.
So, do you think Tom might have been tuning in to hear what Brodie had to say? Like,
Well, that little shit said about me now.
That's right. Someone else is doing it. Because, normally it's Nick and Tom. I mean, Brodie's there. We've always interviewed the three of them. But I wonder whether he maybe thought, what's going on here?
What are Big Stu and MJ up to?
That's exactly right. We should say, after we spoke with Gord and we did the prank call to Gord, we then interviewed Brodie and we said, we're glad we didn't get you answered. And we said, we're glad we didn't get your answering machine because we would have left a prank message. And he's like, what do you mean? And we're like, well, we just did this to Gord and we told him, and he was cacking himself.
He was. Do you imagine the three of them prank call each other every now and again.
Oh.
The thing is, they'd have caller ID.
Yeah.
It'd be like brother 1, brother 2, brother 3, brother 4. Who's the fourth brother?
That's Casey.
Casey, it got to be Casey. Tom Wolfe has replied, Big Stu. Again, you can't see the Facebook logo. And he said, "Hey boys," then Metallica with a love heart.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Well, the challenge is there, Tom. Come on the show and live in the studio
Hang on,
and
just
play
pull
a
that over there
song.
for me.
The mic?
Yeah. See, there's a mic ready for you. There you go.
Flick it the other way.
It's got your name.
This is the one that falls off or whatever.
See how it says Tom Wolfe right there, Big Stu?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's got your name on it, Tom. There you go. Mic ready for you. So it's over there in the chair that you would probably sit in.
Flung around. That is the only issue. If 3 of them come in, or 4, there's only one mic there. So
We'll make
you'll
it work.
use your mic again.
The Wolfe Brothers are loud, right? Yeah. They know how to perform on a stage. They're loud. They'll cover that one mic pretty easy.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, it'll be like, swing it that way. That's right. It's like,
didn't Tom just buy a new
Tom will say
new
something
bass
and
or
then
something?
Nick will be like, I got something to say.
It's like throwing the beer down the aisle or something, down the...
I realised that it's not scrolling automatically with the comments, so... Tom Wolfe, incredible radio ID, ha ha ha.
Yeah,
the
that was
meaning
a
of
good
us
one.
boys was a bonding over the Metallica Black album.
Okay.
I can still remember when Nick brought home the Master of Puppets album, life-changing.
With you at a Brooke Chevelle and Natalie Pearson gig in Sydney where there was a whole lot of country artists just hanging. It was really an industry kind of event. And you guys had been in the studio in Sydney recording and you were just bursting to tell us about the new music, which would, then become the Country Heart album. Tom was playing MJ some of the music on his phone, which you could hardly hear it, MJ. It was loud.
It was a very loud pub and Tom's like, listen to this. And I'm like, it's great. I don't really know if it's good or not. I trust it's the Wolfe Brothers. I can take a punt and say, yeah, it's going to be good. And it turned out to be very, very good. But with live music going on and Tom's, he's just like, yeah, really thrusting the phone. And I'm just like, mate, I'm deaf. I'm in radio.
Were you guys aware, I guess, of the risk you were taking in moving somewhat away from the typical Wolfe Brothers, trademark rock guitar sound at the time you were recording?
We were, but it was time to do that. I think if we went back and did the same thing and just made the same album again, we'd be very unhappy. So there was kind of no choice, really. It was the only way forward was to change things.
I remember when I first heard the song No Sad Song, I was blown away. And I guess I was kind of, the fingers were crossed. I was praying that the Australian country fans would accept it as the amazing song that it is. How have you found the reception to the sound on the new album and not just that song, all of the songs?
I'll be honest, but I think the new album for us, and, we've changed our image and we've grown up a bit. Everything for us has changed now. I mean, we're doing sellout shows now when we tour on our own, and that never used to happen. So the entire band, the vibe around the whole band has changed and really lifted up to the next level now, which has been just the best thing ever. So yeah, that song has been absolute part of that. I think, in the film clip to that's really different as well, and people have really connected with it.
I don't know where Big Stu's gone. I have no idea where he's going. He's left me by myself. Okay, so on the air right now is one of our favourite songs from the Country Heart album, No Sad Song by the Wolfe Brothers. And Big Stu's left the building. Oi! Making a Milo. That's what we get paid in. Concert tickets and Milo. That neon. I think it's about time, Big Stu, we ended the live video. What do you reckon? He's not paying attention. He's talking to our producer. He's coming back now. What are you doing?
Low blood sugar. I needed to get something to eat, right?
Because we're still waiting on our steak.
There's a vending machine, but I didn't have any coins, and it only operates on coins, that's how old it is. And I'm like, I need something, and then I see the tin of Milo. There's the Milo tin. So I quickly made up a Milo, and then I'm sculling it down, and then you're like banging on the window, come in, and I think I got Milo stuck in my teeth.
You got something stuck in your teeth. You want to talk about getting stuff stuck in your teeth.
Now, MJ.
Yeah.
Sorry. Can't talk properly. We need to. I have no notes, so we need to talk about what's happening on social before we kill that off.
Well, I suggested that Swar 999's live radio gig, which is happening very soon at the Edinburgh pub here in Sydney. I reckon that next year, based on Tom Wolfe's suggestion, Metallica perform with special guest the Wolfe Brothers. I reckon that'd be good. That's pretty much my only. That's what's happening on social right now.
Okay.
That, and I'm looking at buying a car.
Okay. 30 seconds. We need to talk about that Tom mentioned the Black Album.
Good idea. Tom Wolfe, kind of a producer tonight.
She don't know no sad song.
No sad song. The Wolfe Brothers. Now,
no sad
MJ,
song.
we are live on Facebook, and Tom Wolfe actually joined the conversation, we think, to check up on what Brodie was saying. But he actually fleshed out the story about how they met on the bus, and he mentioned it was over Metallica, over a particular album, I think you said.
Yeah, so this is what Tom said. He said, first of all, he heard his ID, which is incredible
he
radio
thought it was
ID.
a great radio. It was a great
It's actually really good. And recorded at high quality. That's why I asked. And Jace Linksy's just commented as well. He also has some great radio IDs.
He does.
And the thing is, I say to Jace, can you do an ID? And he's like, yeah, of course I can do an ID. And then he does an ID. And
then he sends it.
That's how you keep MJ happy. You do ID. So thanks to Tom and Jace for that.
Yeah.
But Tom Wolfe said, the meeting of us boys was a bonding over the Metallica Black album.
Okay.
I can still remember when Nick brought home the Master of Puppets album, life-changing.
Life-changing.
In capital letters, he said that. That was the emphasis, life-changing.
Now, we have thrown out the challenge to the boys to come into the studio. We're always asking them to come in, but they're never here in Sydney on a Monday night. But we want them to try and make this happen. And when they come in, we always get artists to play a couple of songs, acoustic. They can play their songs, of course, but they also have to play a Metallica song.
Oh, for sure. Metallica acoustically on Swar 999 here in Sydney's West.
That's
they
right.
love their Metallica here.
And they don't need to
they
even
love their Planet Country.
countrify it. Just play
they
it.
don't, yeah. It's just the Wolfe Brothers is the country part.
Absolutely.
And the Metallica is the Metallica part, obviously.
Hang on, just go through that again. Sorry, you've blown my mind.
So
the Wolfe Brothers
are the country part.
Right.
With the country heart.
Yes.
And then the Metallica is the Metallica part.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Back to Brodie
the
Rainbird.
hard rock heart.
Back to Brodie Rainbird. Maybe Tom's listening still to check it out. Maybe he's long gone. I don't know. You are listening to Planet Country right here on Swar. And, of course, syndicated.
And Jace Linsy reckons that Tom may have grabbed an Uber to head to Jace Linsy's place for dinner.
Right.
There's a party going on and we're not invited.
Syndicated on Hawkesbury Cold Tuesday afternoons. And, of course, live streamed on the Wolf Australia. Was it a case of challenging yourselves to grow as a band rather than just, churn out the same sound, I guess?
Yeah, big time. It was like, we know we have to do something different, but we don't really know how or, what's going to happen. So, yeah, it was all about getting out of the comfort zone. And when we went in the studio with Matt Fell, we told him all of this.
Right.
And he got really excited, and he had quite a bit of creative freedom as well. So he was right, it was really good to have a producer that was, really into the project. And there was a lot of things he did that had us going home that night thinking, is that right? Should we do that? That doesn't sound good. Or
questioning
is it good? We don't know. It's so out of our comfort zone, we don't know what it is. And then we come back the next day and look to it again and be like, do you know what? Yeah, this is cool. This is where we want to be. This is great.
You spent a fair bit of time in America and toured around playing some festivals. Did that have any influence on the writing and the music that you then came back and recorded?
Yeah, I think it absolutely does. There's something about being in Nashville, which is, really the home of country music for the entire world. Something about being immersed in that culture and that place where so many writers are all in the one spot and you can write with, 2 or 3 different people every day. That really affects the music, and I think for us it makes us really, we get really productive, we really get into it, we get passionate about the music we write, and there's nothing else to really distract us over there because we're so into it. We wouldn't really do that here. We've done that here before, but, that's next level. That really lifts things up to the next level.
Here, I guess life gets in the way. Over there, you're immersed in it 24/7 for however long you're there.
Exactly, and you're only there, when we go for riding trips, we're only there for 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So we're there to really get it done, and we knuckle down and we do it. We wouldn't do that here. We just flounce around and, do it.
Go to the pubs.
We saw you play a gig in Sydney recently, and I think it was only maybe the second show touring the new music, and you sounded amazing. You must enjoy the expanded range of Wolfe Brothers songs to play live.
I really do, and I personally, it's really nice to be showing some restraint now, whereas, we came up, when we were younger, we were doing, 3 or 4 gigs a week, and a lot of those were pubs, really raucous pubs and B&S's. We can still do all that, but we've grown up a little bit now, and it's really nice to put on a proper showcase of music.
Well, it's really a show, not a gig, in a way. It's now an actual show.
Exactly, yeah. And, the years of doing theatre gigs with Lee have probably rubbed off on us a bit.
I was going to ask about that because, I mean, we rate Lee Kernaghan as the ultimate Australian country show. I mean, his show that he puts on is world-class. It's not just a pub gig. I mean, it might be, but it's still at that next level. So, obviously, that's had an effect on what you guys do when you're out touring yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. It was really hard for us at first to do those shows. Because, like I said, we weren't used to it. It was so odd playing for a large group of people that just sat there and looked at you. It's like, well, they're not doing anything. They're not jumping up and down. And
why aren't they throwing stuff?
Yeah, why aren't they pulling the PA down to the floor and trying to steal one of my other guitars or something? Like, why isn't that happening? So, that really was out of our comfort zone, and we grew from that as well. And now we're sort of, when we tour, we're doing a couple of venues like that and finding it really good. Finding those shows are really wholesome and awesome.
We were just talking about how...
I was going to do the bit.
Oh, but I thought we had to explain the bit.
No, I was just going to do it straight
out.
Okay,
righto.
On behalf of Star 9 News, I'm Matthew Brokenbrow.
I'm Stuart Brokenbrow. Good night.
Is it a wheat field behind a fence line?
Do the...
Oh, yeah, the...
Got to do
It was
the
meant to be like, the 9 News, and it's like they say goodbye, and then the music plays them out, and they have some conversation, probably like... Something like this, ready? I'm not wearing any pants right now. No, neither am I.
And it sort of goes to that silhouette view, and they're sort of laughing, they're doing... But now they often have the laptop, so they don't do that. But in the past, they'll have...
Do they do the... With the
yeah. But they do that, they used to do the... And, we'll catch you tomorrow night. Have a good night. And this little signature. Like, what are they doing? Is it my little slash like I do? Or little...
It's like... and we'll fire that person, and we'll fire that person.
You know what I reckon they're doing? 25 down. I know that. That's actually...
Well, that's the cool thing about this live Facebook video, particularly this time around, tonight where it faces us, you get to see what we're doing when music goes to air. Most of us sitting here talking about our haircuts.
You actually get to see me. Now, I'm not normally in shot, and I don't like it, and I'm not happy with the hair. So I think what I'm going to do is do the show facing the other way, because I think that's my better side. So, I can't really get this...
Yeah, I don't think they can even hear you right
I can do that, but how do I then press buttons? I could maybe do this, like...
Grab the keyboard and press the shortcut.
Ah, yeah.
It won't really reach. It's not wireless.
Now I have to get this back
Adam, who's a classmate of mine at the Australian Film Television Radio School, has just joined us. He's probably thinking, MJ, why aren't you seg editing? We do that beforehand. Because we're smart. It's a little inside radio.
What's seg editing, for those that don't know?
It's where you align like the IDs and all that, and there's transition across.
It's pre-done.
Yeah. The show's live, but the production's pre-done because we like to have a chat with the artists and talk about our haircuts on Facebook Live.
That's exactly right. So the Wolfe Brothers Brodie Rainbird interview coming.
Johnny Bones is back, and Brett Ringo has just joined the conversation.
Brett Ringo from Ringo's
in Johnny Ringo's in Brisbane
and Ipswich.
And Ipswich, yeah, too. They're expanding.
Exactly right.
I remember when we asked him, "Are you coming to Sydney?" He went, "Yeah, no. Lockout laws. They're preventing country bars from opening in Sydney."
So the song that's going to air at the moment is actually the title track from the album Country Heart, a great song by the Wolfe Brothers, and Brodie Rainbird will be back to talk shortly. And
Part 4's coming up.
That's right, and that's just to wrap up. It doesn't go for very long. We'll hear that, and then we'll have a chat and wrap up the live Facebook.
If you guys have anything you want to ask us, now's your chance, because Well, you can ask us anytime, really. We'll respond on Facebook.
Now,
but, yeah, now's a chance to talk to us live.
I had the Milo. Are you going okay without food
I'm
until...
starving hungry.
Go and have a Milo. I recommend it.
You don't know how to end Facebook Live, though, do you?
No, I don't. I'll just stare at the
stay
screen.
here, then. Fading away to oblivion.
I'll just stare at the screen. All right, you can fade it back to the interview, I'm guessing. The Country Heart Tour is continuing, and there's some special shows coming up with Gord Bamford from Canada, of course, and Jody Doreen from New Zealand. Now, you guys have developed a great relationship with Gord, and he's going to, I guess, pave the way for you guys to go across to Canada. That must be exciting.
Yeah, we've fallen into this sort of partnership with Gord, and he's a great guy to hang out with. We've done loads of gigs with him, and it's a good little relationship. And he loves coming to Australia, so we were sort of his gateway into Australia, and we did gigs and got along really well. And now, he wants to repay us the favour, so we're looking at heading over to Canada next year, middle of next year.
That sounds like a really exciting opportunity to spread the fan base.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, it's a fantastic opportunity. He's literally Canada's number one, country guy. It's he's like their Lee Kernaghan. So we get to go and do that all over again in Canada,
Guys with big black hats, Lee and Gord, that's what you do.
Yeah, big black hats.
Well, there's shows all over the place, including a big one at Rudy Hill RSL on October 13. All the details can be found on thewolfebrothers.com. We can't wait to see you guys play with Gord and Jody. Brodie, thanks so much for spending some time on Planet Country.
Thanks for having a chat with me, guys. It's been awesome.
It's been awesome, and it was awesome. Brodie Rainbird from the Wolfe Brothers.
And he's a cool dude.
He's a cool dude. He normally, when we interview them, normally it's the three of them, and he talks and that, but it was great just to talk sort of one-on-one with Brodie and not have the brothers in the way. So.
Yeah, get lost, Tom and Nick.
That's right.
Brodie's like, it's my time to shine.
My time to shine. That's exactly right.
Or maybe he was like, I'll deal with those guys. Yeah, I'll take one for the team there.
That's right.
Thanks, Stu and MJ. Oh, boy.
No, they like us because
they love us.
Tom did that great ID.
Yeah.
I believed it.
They love us.
Absolutely. Now, live on Facebook, we had a few more people join us. Hello to Brett Ringo from, of course, Johnny Ringo's, the fantastic establishment in Brisbane and Ipswich that plays country music.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. What are you looking at me funny for?
I don't know where you're going with this.
I don't know where I'm going with it either. Hey, what I can tell you is we're going to play a song by Chris Bandy. Now, we played this a few weeks ago. Only One. It's kind of my song at the moment. I absolutely...
We're only playing one?
What?
Are we only playing one song?
Yes.
Okay.
What are you talking about? We're playing the
Chris
only
one.
That is the name of the song.
Took a while to figure that one out.
But the point I want to make is this is a cool dude. Now, we posted about playing him a few weeks ago. We tagged him. The page liked it, and just recently his own personal account liked it. So,
did you send him a friend request?
I didn't send him a friend request.
That's what you got to do. You got to send them friend requests, Big Stu.
I probably should. Here he is now. It's only one. Only one?
Only one friend request is all it takes.
It's Chris Bandy on Planet Country.
Yeah.
It's a train wreck, and we should probably wrap up the live Facebook.
I think we will. No one's commenting
Thank
anymore.
you for joining us, and we'll be back next week. We'll do live again.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
Maybe we'll change.
I just want to know every week what Jason thinks he has for dinner.
That's right.
We're going to have to get him to phone in every week what he has for dinner.
I want a photo. I want him to post a photo of the dinner. Proof.
He needs proof.
It didn't happen. You didn't eat it unless I can see it.
He's Googling recipes as we speak and organising the next few weeks of Facebook Live, so he has something to go to.
No Donna Hay photos or anything. I want actual real photos.
Adam Staples is just saying that he's watching us as he prepares to go live for the night shift over at Sydney's 2SER 107.3.
Ah, yeah.
He's enjoying the show tonight and the antics on Facebook.
Ah.
Well, he's doing the overnight shift, so go live overnight. And
Absolutely.
I'll be up. I've got work to do.
I wonder if he will have had his dinner before he goes live overnight. I hope he has.
That's a good question. Is he getting up late and having breakfast before the show?
Possibly.
Does he get a lunch break? Or is he just live? One time I had to go to Sky Sports Radio and the guy just didn't stop. And I had to there to watch him to learn from him.
He said to you that during his shift producing, he can't go to the toilet. He cannot get up and leave the panel.
He said to me, I hope you brought food. And I went, I did. And then he's breaking the number one rule of a radio studio.
Don't eat in the studio.
Exactly.
Well, If anyone from Swag, because Johnny Bones was on before, is watching, I didn't have the Milo here. I had it out in the kitchen green room area.
Were you the one who got in trouble then?
I don't know. I saw
liquid
I know.
past the yellow line.
I saw a note about that. It
Is
wasn't
there a yellow
me.
line? There's no yellow line.
I don't know. All right. Thanks for joining us. Of course, you can catch the rest of the show tonight on radio, SWAT 999 in Sydney, and of course the Wolf Australia streaming.
That's right, and if you miss any part of the show and want to relive it, Hawkesbury Gold, 89.9 FM in Sydney's far northwest, Tuesday 4 p.m. The Wolf will have a replay on Wednesday and Saturday, Wednesday night, Saturday afternoon, and we'll have a podcast up as well. You will not avoid this radio show, no matter how hard you try. Guys, thanks for watching, thanks for participating on Facebook Live. On with the show for radio. I'll hit the end live video now. Click.
Can you do it there instead of over there?
Watch me and learn.
Wow.
And now can't see what I'm doing.
All right, 25 seconds.